USJ is not just a theme park.
Why is digital transformation critical for USJ at this point?
Every form of entertainment is equipped with the digital experience. If the digital experience is lagging, I think nowadays it is tied to the overall experience of that particular experience. You're not distinguishing digital side of the house and real world experience separately.
I would define this as innovation.
Other side of digital transformation is a little bit unique to us.
Have a great time at the USJ.
Good afternoon, everybody. So it's a great pleasure to welcome all of you today. My name is Yuki from Universal Studios Japan, and I will be your moderator for this session today. So today we'll be talking about the digital transformation journey of Universal Studios Japan, perhaps sharing our mission and as a team, as a company, and exploring how we intend to design and implement online and offline integration here in our business. Given over the past years, industries have faced rapid technological changes, evolving user expectations, and increasing pressure to innovate. And Universal is no exception to those lines. So we believe this will be an opportunity to think about how we deliver value and how we create better experiences for our guests and our employees. And to share a bit of some personal notes, three of us over here, we came all the way from Osaka today, and we've been truly looking forward to this session. So on behalf of our team, I don't think Kudo-san and Fabian are here, but I would like to sincerely thank our hosts today for making this happen. We deeply appreciate the support and the effort. Also, regarding these sessions today, we would truly value your feedbacks. Your insights, reflections, suggestions are very important to us. And you can see a barcode on the screen. Please take out your phone if you can, scan it. It'll directly take you to a short survey. And for our audience who may be interested in career opportunities at USJ, there's a section in this survey that will ask you whether if you're interested or not. And
that's mandatory, yeah? I think
it's mandatory. It is mandatory. Thanks for that. That's important. And by indicating that, you can receive updates about current job openings, not just the current jobs, but also the future openings as well. So please check it out, and we would be very happy to stay connected with all of you to explore how you might be a part of this journey together. Just to quickly outline some key aspects of who we are as a company. Universal Studios Japan is currently ranked third among all theme parks in terms of guest attendance, attracting roughly 16 million people, visitors every year annually.
I mean, that's quite super important statement. So this is number 3 in the world.
So that's
not in Japan, not in Asia, in the world.
Yes,
right?
Yes, including every theme park that
every
exists.
Theme park,
Yes.
I mean, otherwise, yeah,
Right.
obviously.
Exactly. Right. And our team is committed to excellence, right? And we are striving to reach number 1 in the world, right? And we believe it's not too far away. And we aim to become the destination of choice and the employer of choice. And in the recent years, the company had also won an award from the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions. This award, often known as the Brass Ring Awards, recognize excellence and innovation across the global attractions industry. And here's just a quick slide that shows our global organization. As some of you may know, Universal as a whole is a part of the Comcast family under the Global Entertainment Group within NBC Universal. So being a part of this global organization gives us access to world-class IP, intellectual property, technology, operational expertise, and international best practices as well. And at the same time, we remain uniquely positioned in Japan because we combine global strength with local creativity and execution as well. So this connection allows us to accelerate innovation, including our digital transformation efforts, while delivering experience that resonate both locally and globally.
So I think before we go further, I have a question to ask. How many of you have visited Universal Studio Japan? Thank you! Thank you! So you know our business. You know, that's a great start, isn't it? Right?
Anybody been to the parks overseas? Not. Okay. Oh, okay. Japan has more. That's important. All right. But yeah, let's get started. For today, as we begin, we're fortunate to have a distinguished panel of leaders and experts who bring diverse perspectives. Ted, Takahashi, and Yuka Motobayashi. So we will share insights, some lessons learned, and practical examples of how digital initiatives are shaped the way USG works and grows. Yeah, it's great to have you guys. Absolutely. To get us started, Ted, do you want to give us an introduction of yourself? Like perhaps could you briefly introduce yourself by sharing your background?
Yeah. Sure. Hello, everyone. So nice to see you here. And my name is Ted Takahashi. I was originally born and raised in Yokohama, but working quite a long time in the stateside. I was based in California up until last month, actually. And then, along with joining to Universal Studio Japan, I relocated to Osaka from California. And then, I'm leading the IT and the digital technology team based in Universal Studio Japan, which is quite eye-opening and very enjoyable experience so far. And I would like to share my perspective on how the digital transformation journey, and quite frankly, amplifying the guest experience journey in using digital is the implication here. And that's what I want to share. I have been in digital entertainment for a long time. I was previously in the a gaming industry. And then digital side of the house has certain implications, but theme park is a combination of digital and the real life experience. So that is where the uniqueness lies, and that is where the very exciting juncture of those two different worlds. So we would like to share a bit about that journey and transformation. Thank you.
Please.
So my name is Yuka. Hello, everyone. So my background was really the B2B organization, so it's quite different from what we do today. So I was a project manager and a program manager for over a decade in the US, in Europe. So I was also, living in the United States. So I led the implementation of sales and marketing technologies for internal teams and external clients. And you also moved back to Japan, but I also moved back to Japan about a year ago, and I started to working for USJ.
From where?
From Hungary. So I don't know if you know, but it's a small country, but it's really beautiful. I love it. So right now I'm currently working for USJ as a PMO, especially for front of house, which is like end-to-end guest experience. So our mission really here is to improve the guest interactions smoothly and more fun and more like a memorable experience with the digital and technology.
Great, thank you very much.
Yuki, where are you coming from, by the way?
Japan.
No. Well, yes, I get that. But I mean, where have you, spent most of your life
Sure.
in the early days?
Sure. I grew up overseas, same with the both of you. I spent a couple of years in the United States as well. Just a couple of years, yes. But then I moved to the Philippines.
Manila?
Manila, yes. And I've spent, 14, 15 years there, and then came back to Japan from mid-high school, and I thought I was like in an alien space, because it was very weird. So, but yeah, that's basically my background.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Three of us are coming from a very diverse and different background, but it is actually representing how our digital team. We're living in the 11th floor in the headquarter building, and then this is pretty much the landscape, meaning that pretty diverse, isn't it? Upon returning back from the state and back in Osaka, I expect that day-to-day, job thing is going to be mostly in Japanese. However, it is not. I would say 60% or more is based in English, and because of the diverse talent, even though we're Japanese, but our talent composition is pretty much represented just like that. So whoever interested in joining, but like whether that will be a language barrier or whatnot, no worries, because this is how we do business on the day in, day out. Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, interestingly, you guys, both of you, you made a major transition by joining USJ from moving from North America and Europe, right? So, like, how's life in Osaka so far for the both of you? Ted, do you have any reference on that?
I love takoyaki. I really do, and I've been living in California, sunny California, which is a great place, and then certain things I love, and I think there are times that I was originally from here, and like you have a reason to stay here, and I have a reason to stay here as well, because I found that's also something that I experienced, great things in the stateside, and I think that is the time that I think I will be wanting to be looking for something different, and then also my family situation also encouraged me to come back to the place I was born, so it fits me perfectly. But Osaka or Kansai area, I'm living in Hyogo, okay, and I would only 6 weeks, but I found it so fascinating. If you want to go to Kyoto, that's so close, right? If you want to go to Nara, that's so close, right? And then it is very different from Tokyo. And then where I live is on the close to the mountains, in like local mountains, and that's very beautiful. So I really love the life in Kansai area.
Right. What about you, Yuka?
Okay. So now I'm speaking to you in English, so you may not recognize where I'm from. But when I switch this to Japanese, you will instantly know where I'm from, because I'm from Osaka. It's very different how to speak in Japanese. But like sometimes I try to be, speak to me like a normal, but like everyone can easily say, "Oh, you're from Osaka." Yeah, it is. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that I have a bias because I'm from Osaka. I want to say great things only about Osaka. So you said about the food. Of course, food is very important for us. There are a lot of great foods, not only for takoyaki.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okonomiyaki and everything. So anything like with the flour, like we do have great things, okay? And it's very cheap. So I know a lot of you may live in Tokyo area, right? And some of our colleagues moved from Tokyo to Osaka. And everyone said that cost of living in Osaka is way cheaper than in Tokyo. It's definitely. So if you get higher, get paid the same salary or higher, then definitely you can save a lot of money in Osaka. Okay.
Yes.
That's important.
Living cost is very important.
Yes. And the other things that I want to highlight is great people. Okay? It's because, first of all, I don't know if you know about Osaka, but we are in from the mecca of comedy. So there are a lot of people are funny, very warm, very friendly, and we used to be like mom and pop shop stores a lot in Osaka. So we know how to connect with people. I hope I'm the one also as well. But anyway, I think I never thought of coming back to Japan, and also never being back to Osaka actually. I always thought that if I ever moving back to Japan, it's always Tokyo. But I kind of really like it. I think it's in my blood. I could instantly like merge myself into Osaka culture. So if you ever want to work with us, you can consider moving to Osaka, and because it's a great city, warm people, and atmosphere itself is really good because everyone is like fun and smiles.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned Osaka is known for comedy, and I think I'm feeling it like Osaka is the entertainment capital of Japan. That's how I see it. IR is coming, and and then Universal Studios there, Yoshimoto is there,
Yes.
right? So that is indeed the factor of entertainment capital. We call Orlando as a theme park capital because but I think now I'm framing it. Osaka is the entertainment capital of Japan, and probably aiming to be entertainment capital of Asia and entertainment capital of the world, right?
We should practice more Kansai Ben together.
Exactly. Kansai Ben dominates the world.
Thank you so much. All right, let's get into the topic then, Ted. I mean, let's talk about the digital experience that we're trying to.
Exactly. Because every one of you have visited our park, you know what we are doing, and we are in the theme park business. But theme park business is typically considered as the in-park experience. That is the greatest value, yes, no question about it. But the journey starts from where you started to plan your visit. Whether you're making your trip, you're planning a trip with a hotel accommodation, railway, or flying into Kanku Airport, that's the beginning of the journey. And you can imagine how the planning process is looking like, and the planning process, together with travel agencies and whatnot, the frictions that we want to minimize is allowing you to have a very seamless experience even before coming to the park. And then arrivals, in-park experience, dining experience, purchasing experience is certainly super important for us. That's the core part of our experience and value. But that's not the end. That's not the end because, after, I want you to repeat, coming back to us again, which includes the follow-up on the, merchandise opportunity, e-commerce, and the promotions, and the annual pass, special events and whatnot. Those are the occasions. When we think about the experience of theme park experience, it is a wide range of spectrum. And you can easily imagine how digital would be able to support this journey. And that's what we want to, that's what we want to deliver. It's not the sole focus on the in-park experience.
Right. Yeah. Ted, thank you for that. It's all about the guest journey, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, what are our guests doing before they visit the park?
Right.
What are they doing during their visit, and what do they do and think after? Right. This is the whole seamless experience that we're trying to deliver.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. And it's important that we think of this as a collective end-to-end experience. Right.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Got it. So I do want to dig deeper a little bit on your thoughts, Ted. So like, why is digital transformation critical for USJ at this point? And like, what do you think about? What are some of the key business challenges or opportunities that prompted this initiative?
I think digital experience in general is becoming a norm. If you have whatever experience you go, meaning that whether you're going to a movie theater or if you are going to see a sport event, stadium, every form of entertainment is equipped with the digital experience, whether that's ticketing or like an online presence of the social media and whatnot, right? And then if the digital experience is lagging, I think nowadays it is tied to the overall experience of that particular experience. You're not distinguishing digital side of the house and real world experience separately, right? It is a part of a very important experience of us providing a very smooth and seamless experience altogether. So, if we are doing too slow, and it is quite visible, right? If our experience is not smooth, then you can easily tell, right? And that's the tech savviness of the modern day consumer that we need to pay attention to. That is one side of the house of digital experience. Other side of digital transformation is a little bit unique to us. Our core value of the major part of the guest experience is this smiling crew. Okay? I mean, really. That's true. That is super important. That's a super great asset. But with the loads of administrative tasks, like labor hours, check-in, check-out, expense report, crew experience is equally important because finance systems, HR systems, timekeep systems, or what have you. Those are the corporate business application that is aiming to raise productivity. Productivity, when upon the productivity being raised, then it is simply translated for the crew to be able to smile more. I mean, it's a simple equation, isn't it, right? So digital transformation serving for the guest is one element, but what we call as back of the house experience, meaning the back of the set, back of the house, the corporate business application, it is critically important for our crew to be more energetic, to be more engaging with the guest stakeholders, right? So those are the two coins of the digital transformation journey that is super important to Universal Studios Japan.
Right. Yeah. So it's like rising guest expectations, right? I mean,
Yeah,
guests
exactly.
are going to expect more from us,
Right.
time after time. Like if you think about it, like what are they expecting? Like do they want shorter waiting times, for example? They want personalization. They want real-time information. They want mobile experiences. All these kinds of things. Like to stay competitive as a business, like we need to meet these. Right, that's exactly what you've brought up for us.
Yeah, exactly. It has a broad spectrum of things. Everything is we're here to provide cho genki to guests. Everything really toward that. Every improvement activity, every digital transformational projects, that everything is here for guests at the end of the day. So that's what we're aiming for.
Absolutely. Thank you. I do want to move on to the next slide to talk a little bit about some of the enhancements, the digital touch points that we have here in the park. I think I should ask Yuka this part, because you're basically in the center of delivering all these complex projects ongoing. So maybe can you first of all walk us through when you first joined USJ, right? So can you help us visualize where the company was at on its journey, and what was already in place, what was not, and where were the biggest gaps at that time?
Okay. So I joined the USJ about probably 2-3 months before our biggest launch, which was the web ticket store. So that is the first largest project for digital and technology team. So everyone was fully focused on making sure this the successful go live, And to be honest, like we had 3 weekly meetings with senior leaders. Our senior leaders are very approachable, and they are living in the Universal Orlando. So there is a time difference. Okay.
Yeah,
Three times a
How
week.
many hours? How many hours is it?
I don't know.
17 or something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know how.
About 14?
14 right
14.
Okay,
Thank you,
okay,
thank you,
okay.
thank
So
you.
it's a little bit better, but still, right? So we need to give them status update, and elevated issues, so like they can remove any blockers to stay on track. So 3 times a week. Think about it, and that is like now it's reduced. Okay, 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, and our Monday is the Sunday night, and they came to every meeting. So that was biggest surprise actually. Because Sunday night, who wants to work, right? But this really gives us the level of commitment. And also the digital is really the top strategic priority for entire company. And the other thing is that actually I also surprised was there is a really clear gap that I think the other time the digital and technology team, the departments was like formed like 2 years or something like that. So it was really young, right? But everyone was really focused on this successful launch. But at the same time, they also need some like a foundation, and those foundation was missing, like a framework, like a processes, even like standardized templates for the project management. And everyone was literally building those from scratch while they running a project at full speed. So those are really like my biggest surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel that the commitment of the team, not just in Japan but also globally in North
Yes,
America as well,
definitely.
is there, and it really kind of does emphasize the importance of the business here in Japan. I think that was a very good example of what you just explained. Can you sort of like, what were some of the key initiatives, for example, like the projects that you've actually worked on,
Right.
or your team has worked on? Can you give us some examples of those?
Sure. So I mainly focus on the front of our house, which he explained. That is really to improve the guest experiences. So one of the initiatives that I did in the first couple of months was to adding the digital payment option on for our web ticket store. This was really for students and those who do not have credit cards. So before that, if you wanted to visit our park on that day or the very next day, you either needed to have a credit card or visit our customer center to purchase tickets. So obviously adding this like payment options really kind of easy for guests to visit our park more kind of spontaneous and more accessible, because as you said, we are really, the Osaka is close to Kyoto and Nara, right? And if you get tired of those like old temples, then you can come, have a great time with the UFJ, right? So I think that is wrong. And then the other thing was also the back of house. So obviously adding this digital payment options, or now you can do a lot of things online. So let's say like you can change your park visit date online as well, and annual pass, buying all those stuff. Before that, you always needed to come to our customer center, but now everything can be done at the online. So that definitely reduce a lot of manual work and increase operational efficiency among the crew members.
Right. And I'm sure you've gone through a lot ever since you've joined. So within those initiatives that you just described there, what were the challenges basically? I'm sure there were technical challenges, organizational challenges, cultural challenges, these kinds of things, right? So like, what were those, and how did you communicate these challenges to the front line?
Okay. So I think the significant challenges we always have, this is not just only the initiative that I just talked about, are the cross-functional alignment and complex and complicated business requirements. Those are all interrelated, of course, but front of house, we have a lot of different stakeholders we need to manage. So it could be marketing, yes, food and merchandising, and park operation, finance, sales, a lot. Each of them has different priorities. And one of the solution could be applicable for park operation and marketing, but does not meet the finance requirements, right? So I would say that aligning those priorities and the risk perspectives are really always one of the challenges. And the other challenge is, again, the business requirements. Our business requirements are very complicated. Okay, like I love those great ideas, but it's very difficult. I don't know how many of you are engineers, but if you are engineers or architect, you will not get bored working with us.
Come and join us.
Yes, you're going to constantly challenged by business team. Okay, they're going to come up with great ideas, but those are very difficult. I think the other day, you may be on that meeting as well, but I learned that our base system was designed to handle about tens of business rules.
Yeah.
But actually, our business requires about a minimum 400. So you have to deal with all those complexity every single day. So any the decisions we made require a lot of careful design and sometimes even trade-offs, I guess. But as a project management, we always come back to one principle, which is the guest experience first.
Yeah.
So with that mindset, I think we can manage how to navigate the team and get alignment even if that is so difficult.
Yeah, Yuka said really well, because the guest rooted is always comes first, and what is the best for our guest is the principle that we can use in those scenarios. But there are as what Yuka describes is a representation of a success as well. There is a reason for us to be a number 3 in the world of theme park business, because how we do business was so successful, and then our operations quality. I mean, you understand, because you understand in relative sense that the operational quality requirement in this country is way different from the other regions, right? Which is represented in a way that the requirements are detailed, and then the requirements are super fine grade anyway. But however, the challenges that Yuka described is that once we are able to unite under the theme of guest satisfaction or guest delight, then that is super stronger. And then that is the battle that we are together on a day in, day out. But there's a great reason for us to have that debate, because it is basically a representation of how we are building, how we have been delivering a delight to our guests for the past 25 years.
Absolutely, thank you very much. And I'm also curious to know, looking back, what are some of the improvements that happened after all that journey that you had gone through?
Yeah. Sorry. So definitely to improve the guest experience, and like you said earlier, I think we also focus on our crews. Like you said, if they are not happy, or if they don't buy in our digital and technology experiences, then they will not be able to these big smiles, right? So I think those are really important for us. Like we need to not only focus on the guest experience, but also to improve the efficiency among crew members.
Right, right. It seems like we've got a long journey ahead, don't we? Like, I mean, we've got so much on the park. What, 62 merchandise shops? What, 58 attractions? 72 restaurants, and we also cannot forget the over 15,000 employees that we have on board with us today. And this is all about creating the experience on the ecosystem. Great. I do want to move on to the next slide here. I think this shows a good example of how our team works here. So it's great to see all of these delegated functional teams here that exist inside the digital technology team, Ted, and showing they would work innovating technology across different departments within the organization, which I think was described as cross-functional, full functional team assessment.
Yeah, exactly. So, we are a global company, US capital, and then operating in Japan. But as you can see, this is basically a full scope, full set of digital capability that we have, which is representing that we have a product management, product ownership here, and then program management, as well as application delivery, solution delivery, and things of that nature. It is a full set of things, which is a representation of how we are being invested. We're not solely adopting the global solution per se, and we have our very significant voice in the table, and then upon developing global solutions together with Orlando-based Florida team and Hollywood team as well. So yeah, that's what I want to say.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So basically, we're hiring right now, right? I mean, we're expanding the team as much as we can right now, and I do want to ask you, Ted, on a leadership perspective, what do we prioritize here? How do you think we would balance the speed, the risks, the long-term impact when the stakes are high?
I think we have a great history and great operational and knowledge that we've been running this park for the past 25 years. And when this is the asset that we should be capitalized on, meaning that adding on to the talent that can translate that asset into digital terminology, digital word, that is the talent that we are trying to hire here. So new ways of working or more effective ways of working, the modern, say, product management, process and procedure, program management, program procedure, or what have you, right? Those are the talent, and with a mixture of a great legacy that we have, amplified or accelerated by those new set of talents, is going to be leading a great digital transformation journey that we want to aim for.
Right. You mentioned building new ways of thinking, accepting new ways of thinking, perhaps. Right. I mean, I would define this as innovation, perhaps. Right. So, how can we build a culture where diverse ideas are welcomed? Healthy debates are encouraged. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Could you go back one slide?
Sure.
Well, the great thing of our company is that our office is basically where? Over here. No. Not this direction. Sorry, around here. Quite the other direction. Sorry. Thank you. Allow me. It's only 6 weeks for me. What it tells you is that I try every Friday afternoon. I go to park. I visit park, and this is possible, and with your pass you can, and you should, and you would be, you would love that, because whenever you go there, you find something. You find something that's a source of inspiration in a way that you're basically you're commuting with the guest, in the same station, and then surrounded by people who are excited to go to the park, right? And when you try to go home, you're surrounded by the guests who are satisfied with the experience. And that is the day-to-day experience upon joining a company. And then, once again, if you visit a park, you will find many things from your application delivery lens or UI UX design lens or operational lens. Day in and day out, you find something, which is, I will translate it as tangibility, okay? First-hand experience of what the guest experience is looking like on a daily basis, which is the ground for new ideas, literally. And I encourage my team member to visit as often as possible, and even any opportunity that they can work in the park. I'm encouraging to do so. I myself wore Minions costume 4 days ago, literally. And then the very first crew experience was indeed an eye-opening experience for me. Meaning that now I understand the asset of this company, and then the innovation comes. How can I, or how can we provide better experience to the guests and to the customers? It is coming from a small seed of ideas from your own experience. That is the strongest one, because that is an internalized idea of innovation, isn't it? Then you will be figuring out whom do I need to speak to, right? So I think we have a very natural ground, because our gemba is 5 minutes away, and you're more than welcome to do so.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. At this stage of this journey, our journey in USJ, what do you think is the real risk of not acting? Like, if we move too slow, what would you think would be what would you think? What would be the risks of leaving these on the table?
I think, as I mentioned, that we become obsolete so quickly because the real world presence is there, but we should not be relying on that. Solely reliant on that. We need to be present in the digital space. It's not only talking about TikTok, but just as the experience needs to be world class as well. So every guest, I want every guest to recognize us to be the front leading of the digital experience, accompanied by a super great real experience.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't do that, we will become obsolete very quickly.
Right. Yeah, I agree. These expectations, our guest expectations are they're shaped not only by theme parks or entertainment, right? I mean, they're shaped by many of these digital services that exist in society, right? So and if we move too slowly, guests may outspace our capabilities, right? And our operation inefficiencies will stand out, and that will directly impact our guest satisfaction.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, go back. Yeah, I think you can understand the type of business. We are basically running a town, and with this much employee, it's like a town, isn't it? And then operational efficiency is something that we must pursue, because it is times, every 1 minute of those employees times this much, which means a significant thing. So, amplifying guest experience is equally important as operational efficiency, then leading to our employee to be more energetic and be creative and productive.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I do want to move on to our next topic here. Just to talk about a little bit. Oh, before we do that, over here we have a newsletter.
Oh, yeah.
About our newest park, opened last year, Epic Universe, right? And it's great because every time we would open a new park, and if the park has new ideas, for example, it gives us hopes where we can leverage the success over there and bring it over here to other destinations as well, right? And to look into the future, Ted and Yuka, I do want to ask you, so as per our title, our session today, it's not written there, but it says designing and implementing seamless online and offline integration, right? So when you talk about creating seamless experience, Ted, what do you think seamless really means for USJ?
I think delightful experience that the guests want to interact more with us. That is my definition.
Absolutely. Like, can you perhaps give us like concrete examples of what that would be?
I think these days mobile experience is super important. Mobile experience, pre-journey and in-park experience and post-park experience. Particularly in-park experience is going to, because everybody using it as a map to navigate, right? And then if once the recommendation is tailored to the guest needs, everybody has a different taste. Some wants a theatrical performance, some wants like our medium parade example, for example, some like roller coaster ride. Those are very different tastes in customers. And upon recommendation to be tailored to meet those needs frictionlessly, meaning that less wait time, because if if the system is able to design those journey to optimize those flows, that is then translating into more pleasant experience, and then therefore guests want to interact us more. Oh, USJ's experience was fabulous. I want to go again, again and again and again, right? So that is my definition of seamless experience that customer wants to interact with us more.
Okay. Yuka, I do want to ask you a question. Like, as a part of looking ahead to our future, like, how do you see the role of project managers evolving? Like, you personally, it could be something in general, and what new skills or mindsets will be, most critical for success?
Okay, sure. So you kind of touched upon this. So this is the epic, right? So right now, our work is not just within USJ. We're not completed in USJ because now we are closely working with the team members in a different theme park, right? So they are still under the same umbrella of Universal, but that means like we share initiatives, the adapt what we develop here at the USJ to other park and vice versa. Okay, so it creates scalability, but also the complexity. I said, each park has different priorities, different regulations because it's different countries, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I would say about like there are hundreds of initiatives running throughout the year across products, platforms, like the programs. So I would say these really fundamentally change on how to manage the projects. Of course, like as a project manager, like we have to meet our deadlines within the budget, and of course no scope creep. That is still the fundamental things. But I would say like critical thinking, especially dependency thinking. So like I said, a lot of things happening among the park. So owning and understanding your own scope is not enough. Okay, we have to understand how our initiatives can impact, team over there, because those are typically owned by like different teams with different timelines and priorities. So it's really important for us to, how quickly or how soon we communicate with those team members, so that we don't really have to, resolve any bigger issues later on.
Right. Seamless being the entire system, the entire experience, and how much committed we can be. I mean,
Right.
that's the most important. And it's either digital, operational, or human. These all have to work together to create the best
Right.
experience, right? Yeah. Okay, got it. To deliver this kind of this experience, how do you know when the team is moving in the right direction? Like, do you have any indicators that you can share?
Yeah. So as a project management office, we created a 4 principle. I don't know if you heard from our senior leaders, but one, trust, know your audience, disagree and commit, and then last is a team place. obviously trust, like we need to earn trust through the work, commitment, your way of communication, right? So that is of course. The second is the know your audience. So if you understand how best to communicate or serve each audience, it could be your, our guests, the crew members or senior leaders or whoever, right? That really important. The other thing is the disagree and comment. So obviously everyone has different opinions and perspective, and it's healthy for us to disagree. I think if you know your audience, where it's coming from, like why did he or she say, right? So if you know that person, like where it's coming from, you will understand. So even if you disagree initially, but you're going to come up solutions and then commit. We cannot forget our commit, because sometimes like we agree and then like we forgot, and then like we kind of talk at the same things over and over. And unfortunately that happens sometimes, right? So, and I think that without trust, the commitments is impossible as well. And the last but not least is about the team play. So if we trust, we openly communicate, we understand each other, then there is the team, right? And as long as we do that, I think that we can definitely meet our business goals and deliver the better guest experiences. So those are the 4 core principles that we are trying to do right now.
Right. And if our guests notice our efforts, and if they know the
Right.
difference, and if our crews feel empowered to act, then we know that the transformation is on track. Right. Okay. Got it. We're kind of running up of time, so. Again, I do want to talk a little bit about working with and building the team with the both of you. So let me start with Yuka again. From your personal perspective, your experience, what makes being part of this team special? Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I want to talk about this. I think people at USJ really care about the work, about each other, and especially our guests. So we are willing to step outside of our roles and do the right things when it comes to guest experience. So the other day, one of my team members mentioning about that there was technical difficulties and we needed to reissue the tickets, okay? And a marketing person, she decided, she literally visited the hotel where the guest was staying to give the ticket in person. She could have done that over emails because like everything's digital, of course, right? But she chose. And I think that is our culture, okay? Like you said previously, and like if you see the map, we are literally take the same train with our guests. We see every day, every morning, guests running from the station to the gate, and then when we return to leaving the office, we see guests smiling, right? So I think that's really hits me every day, and I believe like every one of us, right? So this really the experience is a result of the teamwork, mutual support, and I think this is really what makes us really special working for USJ.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ted. I do want to ask you, like, how would you build and protect this kind of team culture? Like, yeah, any thoughts on that?
I think I cannot agree more to Yuka's perspective, and then genuinely speaking, people who are picking up this place as a workplace shares something in common because we want to serve for guests. Okay, that is the very basics. We're not say a tech company per se. We're not the financial institution. We are the theme park business. So I think that is a super strong foundation that we share in common. Okay, and how we are going to be protecting that nature from leading a team perspective is that I would like to give an empowerment and encouragement for the team member to get to why we are working for that park. Why? There's a clear reason for that. I really want, that is where we are going, coming back all the time. And then, I really love to encourage that as much as possible. So hence, promoting that guest-rooted culture even deeper.
Absolutely. As we wrap up today's session, Ted and Yuka, I would like to ask if you have any messages or insights that you would like to share with our audience today, something that inspires them or challenges their thinking, or something that gives them a takeaway from today's session. Can I start with you, Ted?
If you ever feel this might be the place, you're right. This is, all seriousness, right? You kind of understand what we are doing and what we want to do, okay? And then if you want to be our nakama, please, that's it.
What about you, Yuko? What do you hope the audience remembers about USJ's journey today?
I kind of like talking about the same thing, but the USJ is not just a theme park. This is really where we, change and grow together for our guests and for crew members, right? So of course there are so many challenges that we have, okay? But I think at the end of the day, it's what really stands out is our culture, okay? So we, care, we work, we collaborate, we are willing to, step up and change in order to really create a true memorable experience for our guests. So I think I wanted to remember for us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. All right. Again, I think we should wrap up. We're a bit over time. So thank you all for being part of today's conversation. Again, we've got a QR code on the screen today. If you guys are interested, please submit it. And we'll look forward to keeping in touch with you again. If anybody has any questions about today's session, we'll be just downstairs this floor. We've got a booth where we can have open conversations about our business. So thank you very much and have a nice day.